The retirement community is still a few hours away. I hope Dad isn't too lonely there. I'm having a really hard time keeping my eyes on the road. I've been driving for hours. Yeah, I'm having a hard time too because I'm reading the subtitles. A cigarette would help right now. And there is our pointer. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at the snowflakes bouncing off the windshield, the road rolling underneath. And even though it's only impressions, we can see the shadows of tall, bare trees to the left and right. GH Reds, just what I need. I really need a smoke first. Okay, is there something else we're meant to do? Too bad there aren't any radio stations out here. So the retirement home's still a few hours away. What are we, in the middle of the Canadian wilderness? Are we on our way to Yellowknife? No cops to be found way out here. No harm in speeding a bit. Well, unless you slide out on some icy road and end up in those trees, nobody's coming for hours, if that. My rear view would look naked without my air freshener. Oh, and if we mouse over to the top of the screen, we can see our inventory. Man, it is so nostalgic to be getting back into games like this. Like, as soon as I bring up an inventory in this way, it all comes back to me. So we want our lighter, and we can use that on our cigarette pack. I told Dad I'd quit, but smoking really clears my mind. Now there's a haze inside and out. Now, I've always associated these games with relaxing feelings, and this certainly has that already. But it does bill itself as a horror game on Steam, so I just wonder what we can expect from that. Looks like this expires soon. 50% off your next purchase of 12-pack Niwo mineral water. Expires 1990. Well, there we are. There's how we date the game. Niwo mineral water. Recommended by 0 out of 5 doctors. Cool tape. My road trip mixtape. It keeps me company on the road. Okay. This tape is wicked. Recorded straight from FM. This really is a period piece, huh? It's like a snowy version of Pacific Drive. Whoa! What was that? I mean, I only caught a glimpse, but it looked almost like some kind of gray wolf creature. I think my arm is broken. And there's a rock in here that I guess we can use for something. Still got our lighter and cigarettes. But other than that, the car is trashed. Listen to that. We can even hear the wind whistling through that gap in the windshield. That is a really nice touch. You can smash it out and hopefully crawl on through. My arm is definitely broken. I need to get help. This was always how you knew you were dealing with a high-quality point-and-click, the animated snow that falls over the screen, the flickering lights that, due to an extent, actually seem to interact with the environment. My car's a wreck. I'm lucky I even survived the crash. A newspaper weather report on the ground. Now that's irony. Oak Tribune, February 12th, 1990. Weather warning. A blizzard is rolling in and expected to hit on Tuesday the 13th. Authorities advise individuals to remain indoors and under no circumstances attempt to drive. Thanks, guys. Hindsight is 2020. So maybe we can get the car working. Oh, look at this. everywhere we look there's things to be seen, but it's a lot darker in between these denser than expected trees than on the road. Well, at least we're not completely in the middle of nowhere. There's a snow-covered bike. Frozen solid. No one's going to be riding this anytime soon. Does it mean that somebody's already here, or is it just abandoned? The sign says no biking. I guess they hated that word. The outhouse is exactly like you would expect in there. But look at that, the animated door swinging in the breeze. This is why I love these games. It's just a series of scenes for you to interact with as far as solving puzzles and advancing, but also just to kind of exist in. I don't know, there's something about this type of game that just takes me back to a more carefree time when I could just kind of sit and vibe with a game. Don't forget, check out Mort's Mine. Go to the visitor center for details about tours. There's a mine nearby. If nothing else, we could take shelter there if it gets too cold, right? Trash bin, old food wrappers, and other general garbage. Handicapped accessible. Other than that, it doesn't look like there's anything much for us. We could continue up the road. The gas cap stayed on. Must still be a few liters in there. I'm really glad we noticed that, because that sounds important. There's no way I can climb up there in this state. There must be a way around. Okay. So the only way we can go is to the left. We could enter the park. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about the poison ivy in this weather. Well, look, going up to the highway exit might give us some answers. There's where we went down. Did you hear that? It sounded like a very, very distant scream. Oddly enough, there doesn't even appear to be snow on the mountain to the left. A loose patch of snow. Dad and I would use these to hold our beer cans. I guess we had a pretty good relationship. Beautiful, if a little eerie. You know, it is a full moon out. Something to keep in mind is all I'm saying. Well, I guess there's no other choice then but to go deeper into the park. We gotta keep an eye out also, because when that eye symbol shows up, it means we can look, even if it's not necessarily showing anything like a label. Windy Oaks. Where are the oaks? It's just a name, you idiot. Oh. There's something caught in the tree. I can't quite reach it. It looks like a piece of clothing with a pocket and something in the pocket. And a little smiley face carving. Alright. Let's try the door. Getting indoors sounds good. They celebrated a grand opening. Grand? Maybe. Open? Working on it. Closed until further notice. For concerns and questions, please contact Ray Holden, Provincial Parks Minister. Signed, Ray Holden. Heavy-duty lock. Not a very welcoming sight. Filthy and empty inside. I can relate. Do we have a bit of self-loathing? Perhaps for putting our dad in a home. Well, we can peek in the window. I can see inside through the glass. I guess we're not going to do anything with that information. Ooh, we can mess with the generator ourselves. I feel better with this hatchet in hand. You know, it may be a point and click, but so do I. The generator is out of gas, though. Okay, but if I can get some from the car, yes. Take the rubber hose, we can siphon some. I just need a container. Oops, I accidentally clicked off screen. Look at that. We're actually leaving footprints in the snow. I hope those are our footprints, else something else walked up behind us while we were looking. That's really cool. Maybe that can help us understand where we have and haven't already been. This sign looks like it's due to be replaced. But look, maybe if we head over to the mine, we can find like a jerry can or something? Yep, that looks great. Let's just stick our hand right into the oak tree. Hey, we found an oak! It's an old oak tree. The only one I've seen so far. Are we really not gonna have a look? Can we... Doesn't seem to work. Oops, nope, not ready to go that way quite yet. We have to look at the grate. A faint, rancid breeze blows from the grate. Huh. I mean, I suppose it's not entirely unexpected, but it's still a bit unnerving the way you worded that. And there's the mine. Does anybody else see the face in this tree right here? It's over here, too. Just a repeating texture, I'm sure. But even still, the sounds and the artwork in the environments just looks gorgeous. Like, it's much higher resolution and detail than anything that would have been around back then, but it's still a joy to look at. Ha. Watch your head. An empty lantern. I wonder if I can find some fuel for it. Well, let's hope, or we're not going to be advancing very far. Al, sorry to let you know like this, but I'm done. I'm going home and not coming back. I gave my keycard to Josh to look after. I can't keep going into that mine. It's seriously freaking me out. The darkness and sounds honestly make me wonder if something is down there. That, combined with all the stories Josh keeps telling me about the miners that were never found during the sinkhole disaster, is more than I can handle. So, here's my notice of resignation. Samantha. So we've got cryptids in the streets and ghost miners in the mine. Sounds like my kind of hike. The elevator has no power, though. Maybe starting the generator will allow us to move on? Oops. I keep clicking off screen. Okay, so what do we do from here, then? Maybe the hose is actually all we need. Maybe I can just siphon it out myself. Or actually, wait. If we go in here, maybe I can use the hatchet. It's better to cut down a tree from the base. You know, you're right. A couple swings with my good arm did the trick. It's an old scrap of coat. I found a key in the pocket, yes! Awesome. But you raise an excellent point. How did this jacket get torn apart? Best not to dwell on it. Okay, I'm sure we can use the key for that. Did you get no further than posting this sign on the door before something took you and dragged you up into a tree? That did the trick. I should be able to get inside now. It's just as cold in here as out there. I need to get the heater running. Wildlife warning, Windy Oaks National Park. Stay safe. Do not feed the animals. So it looks like we've got bears, moose, and mountain lions. Oh my. They can feed themselves. Neo mineral water. An empty 2-liter. Well, tell you what, that's a container. And 2 liters could maybe keep the generator going for a little bit. Personal photos help make work feel like home. We've got a bit of a sarcastic protagonist here. I can rest once I found help. Well, look, a place like this, it's got a computer. It's got to have a phone or something, right? I may even have to boost it, but we can actually hear still a muted wind sound. See the snow falling gently outside. Even being able to look in here and see the effort that's gone into the lighting of the space. How we can see the light is coming through the window but falls off towards darkness in the back rooms. Like, this is super cozy. Josh, I need you to call me as soon as you find this note. I don't know what kind of prank you're trying to pull, but you can't just disappear with 2 guests in the mine. The police have been contacted, and they want to start a proper investigation when the storm dies down. This is a very serious situation, so please contact me at once and I'll be over to sort everything out. You can call me using the radio in the back room. I know you have Samantha's card to get in. When you do that, I'll be over within minutes. Al. There's 2 people trapped in the mine. But this Josh is missing. Park Watchtower call signs. Okay, Windy Oak National Park is WNP. Alright, we'll save this for later as a reference. I have a feeling we're going to have to call some of these other watchtowers, but yeah, this is a recent note. Wonder if that's his jacket out there. The sound of the clock ticking kind of caught me for a second. Latvian Soviet Socialist Republic 193 proof vodka. Looks like someone needed to loosen up. Maybe they did so at the wrong time. I'd rather avoid the microwave for now. I've heard they can give you cancer. A classic yet radical approach to the rectangle. All off-brand snacks. Yep. There doesn't seem to be any power running to this card reader. Nope, but once we get the gas running, we should be fine. How did that happen? Is someone here? I don't know, but there's apparently nothing to our right, so we have no choice but to go check. I think this is the rock from the car. How did it get here? You followed me from the wreck, whatever you are. Alright, let's just walk backwards into the unknown. It's the worst that can happen, right? Okay, if we had a hose. There we go. Use that on the gas tank. There it is. Shady gas pump. I need a container to siphon the gas into. Okay, well, the empty Neo bottle. Now it's really mineral water. Tastes and burns like gasoline. But we've got it. Can we also fill the lantern? The label on the lantern says to only use ethanol-based fuel. Now, this may seem like a small thing, but I actually really appreciate when an adventure game like this has dialogue for a logical solution. It gives us a reason why that won't work, but it doesn't just give us a no, you can't do that message. Okay, we can now dump this in here. I filled the generator with gas. Now I just need to start it. It didn't start. I might have to try a few times. The generator started. I should get inside and see if I can contact help somehow. Alright. Windy Oak National Park is WNP, but we may have to use an adjacent one. It looks like there might be a radio behind the door. I wonder if I can get in. Well, there is still the problem of not having a key card. They must have gotten this couch used. It's seen better days. Okay, I think we need to look around at the details a bit more. There may be elements of hidden object to this. Well, let's read what this says. I know you have Samantha's card to get in. What if you're down in the mine? Oh god. Yeah, what if that's the case? Old oak tree. The lights are flickering on. I don't remember if they were before. Yeah, no, there we go. The fan is spinning for ventilation. The power is on. We've got to go down into the haunted old mine so that we can get on that radio. That is awful for a horror game because, like, salvation is right there. But we need to climb down the devil's throat in order to get the key. I'm not going down there without a proper light source. We'll tell you what, we've got some vodka. There you go. Waste of vodka, but it should do the trick. Light source, I've got it. Should I use the lighter on it? There we go, nice and bright. Ooh, look at that, 3D elements. I believe this is actually made in Unity. Wow, we are very deep. And I'm very aware of the fact that we're leaving the light of the elevator to go into total darkness, although, look at that, now that we have the lantern lit, our cursor does actually do a little bit of illumination. That's really neat. This place is a tourist attraction, but it's still got stories and it doesn't change the history. The fact that I'm not hearing from anyone is not a good sign. Here's a beer can. Bare bottom, extra dark. I think I can find some pretty heavy construction is underway. No smoking. Guess we'll agree to disagree. Yeah, it looks like they're turning this into a tourist attraction, but it never really opened. So how are two people down here? Left or right? Let's try right first. My god. Look at that. We even saw the animation of my light panning over you. That was very good timing. The old minecart is covered in rust. It's an old coffee grinder. Shame it's out of coffee. Oh, this is back where they keep all the old artifacts. There's a screwdriver and a hole in a wall. A screwdriver is the Swiss Army knife of adventure games, but that means I'm gonna have to reach inside the dark hole in the wall in the mine at the bottom of the snowy national park. Oh, yeah, yep, that's what I thought. What the hell was that? I guess that wasn't a cryptid. That wasn't whatever we saw on the road. There may be multiple things happening here. Such things happen in the wilderness. Bleak Flats Mine. The Bleak Flats Mine was closed in 1948 following a disastrous mine collapse prompted by the unexpected opening of an enormous sinkhole within the central excavation area. Miners and equipment alike were swallowed by the earth, leading to a multi-day rescue operation. Only 3 of the 24 missing miners were recovered alive. The ambiance is getting a little harsh. The Bleak Flats collapse led to a strike, and the combined cost caused the mine to formally shut down just 3 months later in March of 1949. The land on which the mine sits has been bought and sold several times, until generously donated by Sandstone Mining Corporation for use as a national park. Did you know? The rust on these old tools is formed through a process known as oxidization. Iron oxide gives Mars its red color, and can be mixed with aluminum powder to form thermite, a mixture that can be used to weld together mining rails. Thermite melts right through metal and people in seconds. Huh? Haha. Well, thanks for telling me that. I imagine that's gonna come in handy later. Okay, so there's the elevator. We are at point 6. So beyond here, there's one chamber before we enter the proper tunnels, eventually culminating in that sinkhole where a couple dozen bodies are still buried. And maybe still angry. Creepy little mole. I've seen creepier. Right, but other than that, it seems like that's all it is. We're still on the hunt for that car that you had the indecency to disappear with. That sounded like an echoing moan from further down. Or, well, not a moan, just something. It's a heavy-duty work boot. Why leave just one boot behind? There's missing gaps in the brickwork. These bricks look less worn than the others. I can feel air being drawn through the gaps. Is there something we can maybe do with that? Can't have a closer look. No? Well, we probably need to get rid of this warning tape, right? I need to find that missing ranger. He should have the keycard to that back room. Okay, yes. Ooh, that's interesting. So maybe smoking a cigarette and... Ooh, are they actually depleting? Okay, we have a limited number, I think, but maybe smoking a cigarette is the hint system. Oh, I just had to click on it and tear the tape away. Makes sense. Oh, I don't like this view. Suddenly things have gotten all too realistic. Looks like a pretty sturdy latch. I'll need to think of something clever. Maybe if I had a bobby pin as well, I could pick it. But something tells me I won't find one down here. Okay, it's not that. That doesn't seem to work, but tell you what, if we could scrape off some rust. Question is, where do we find some? Well, that bucket back there you said was rusty, right? I'll need something with a broader edge to get all this rust off, like a hatchet. I've scraped off as much rust as I can. Reminds me of Dad's car. Yeah, in this situation, you're thinking of him a lot. I wonder if, like, what we were doing to get here is actually going to be important to what we're experiencing. Okay. So we need that and aluminum powder. So what's made of aluminum? Perhaps the beer can? Ooh, I know what to do. Okay. Put you in the coffee grinder. I've ground the can as finely as possible. I like this. These puzzles are really logical and self-contained, so you don't have to run around for a long time trying to figure them out. I'm hoping I don't regret this. But now I've got a nice old pile of thermite. Here goes nothing. And there we go. The lock is heavily damaged. A solid blow should be enough to break it. Hatchet, you're up again. My hatchet broke, but at least the lock is gone now. Well, it's alright, a hatchet wouldn't do you much good against the ghosts of angry miners. The bars should move freely out of the way now. Okay, so do that. The bars should move freely out of the way now. Do I have to back out and then come back in? No. Okay, I had to back out and come through there. God, that sound. It might literally have been nails on chalkboard. God, how much it adds to actually show us all these things. There was a map back there that could show us the way through, but I also want to see everything there is. Let's keep right for now. Oh. I just can't stop thinking about the Ted the Caver creepypasta now. And that led us all the way back. Alright, let's try keeping left. Wait. No, you know what this is? I think that map is probably not accurate. I think what it's trying to show us is just what to do. It's really just a set of instructions so we don't get turned around. So what we're going to want to do... Alright, let's put this into practice now I've written it down. So we need to go right, left, right, forward, left. Look at that. The snow falls over the remains of the collapsed sinkhole. God, what is going on with the walls of this cavern? We get a pickaxe. Difficult to handle with one hand, but heavy enough to do some damage. Looks like nobody's been here in years. Hey, that's my line. This ventilation shaft might lead to the surface, but it's hopelessly out of reach. Unfortunate, but as far as I know, we still have the way back. We might have to do it in reverse. That's a full jacket. What is this? It looks almost like a nest of some kind. You've got nothing to say about this? It's like the walls are bleeding. There's a card in the pocket. The card is bloody. Okay, we need to skedaddle then. Oh, for a second I thought that was like a shadow of a person from behind me. Wait. I don't remember this. What do you mean you don't remember? Okay, so we would need to do it in reverse, right? So we would need to go right, forward, I don't like that, left, I don't know if that's right. Right, left, no. How did I end up here? I need to get out. That doesn't even make any sense. There is no entrance here. You can do weird stuff like this in a point-and-click game. It's broken. Is there any other way out? Something scratched the panel, which means something knows we're here and is deliberately trying to stop us. We can't use the jackhammer for anything. Back in here, have you got anything for us? No? The only other thing would be... Well, actually, maybe we can use the pickaxe to knock this down. Only thing is, now we're stepping into what they tried to seal away. A long, round tunnel, like something dug its way through here. This is unbearably claustrophobic. But that is light. A vent! This must be the one that was beside the oak tree. Okay, thankfully we have the screwdriver. Some of these are completely overgrown with rock. This thing must have been here a while. How are we gonna get rid of that? Pickaxe, not doing very much. Oh, but we can just squeeze through there. The forest feels somehow darker than before. And is it just me, or is the opening in that oak tree wider? Maybe I'm just seeing things. And maybe it was just the wind. If we come back here... we can't call the elevator back up. Not that we'd really want to. Wait, actually, did I... Okay, no, those are probably our tracks in the snow over there. I would like to think. You're right, it is much darker. Much darker. Something has knocked over that mug. Somebody's been here since I was here. Okay. We've got what we need. I think I heard the door unlock. Wow, it is very dark in here. Thankfully, we have a nice view into the woods out the window. For God's sake, Josh, you are going to fix this, and it is coming out of your wages. Al. Al. I got it used secondhand. It saved the park $15. No need to thank me. I left some instructions for who we should call when we need help, and I copied them down exactly from one of the new books. Ranger Eastley. Josh, what the hell did you do with the emergency call signs book for the radio? Okay, that's in the lobby. Death and dismemberment call sign. 1. Tune the frequency to the marked number. I circled it in red pen after taking apart the case. Hopefully I put everything back where it was supposed to go. 2. Set the call sign to our closest ranger tower, Logan Watchtower. Flip the switch. After you've done this, just shoot a flare by the highway, and someone will be here faster than you can say, "Aha, stop the bleeding." Well, Ranger Eastley, you seem like a pretty competent higher-up to the two morons you left in charge. Well, and Samantha, who had the good sense to get out of here when she could. Ooh, fireworks. Not exactly a flare, but I think it could work. Look, confiscated. Well, thank you whoever brought these. Everything goes wrong for want of a nail in an adventure game, but in this case, it seems like Lady Luck has smiled upon us. Okay, we need to set it to the call sign for Logan. So first we've got to go back out and get that. You sure we can't just barricade ourselves in here? And the answer is, does it matter? Something already tried to break in, or just to toy with us. Alright, Logan is... There's a page torn out. Well, look, maybe we can puzzle it out? Because Logan, it would make sense for it to be LGN, but it's not. Oh, it's going to be one of these. It's, yeah, one of those mathy type ones. I mean, it's a simple one, but we can't just turn a dial, no sir. Let's have a look at this. Maybe there's a different convention, like something specific. So Windy Oak National Park is WNP, Beaver Valley National Park, BNP, McDonald Watchtower, MWT. So it's the first letter of the name of the place, followed by the initials of what kind of thing it is. So National Park will always be NP, Watchtower will always be WT. So LWT? Let's try that. LW D.
Hello?
Hello?
Josh, is that you? You're not coming through. Light a flare by the highway so Al can locate you. Over.
Look at that, voice acting. I didn't expect this. That should do it. I should get to the highway and light a signal. Okay, that's off. Oh my god! Ah! What was that? Are ghosts following me out of the mine? That was, it had like a... It looked like its mouth was open like a star-nosed mole or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's wide eyes. God, I can't picture it clearly, and yet there's a snapshot in my head. That's a really weird sensation, don't you know? What even... Well, let's get to the highway. It may be dark, let's get to the highway. Let's go. Yeah, we're not dealing with that. No, we need to make a right here, right? No. Please no. That's my only way out. Okay, think. What mouse tool can help us here? My uncle lost a finger like that. I should find somewhere to place this. Well, we've got firecrackers. I like my fingers attached to my hand. These should be put on a hard, flat surface. Well, look, a Roman candle fires off, right? Maybe the firecrackers can be used to distract it? I need a distraction. A loud noise near the highway, perhaps back here? This is gonna make a lot of noise. I should be ready to run. I wonder if there's anything still left in the tank. I have to get out of here. Boom. Off we go. Over here. Up away. And Roman candle out. Okay, no, come on. Place it down. Doesn't seem to work. What do you mean? Wait, no, I just saw something come up. Snow pile, okay. You here? That should hold it in place just like a beer can. See, that's foreshadowing. Wow, that's actually a lot like a flare. Please, anyone. What is that? What is...
Holy, are you alright, son?
Absolutely not. And I guess we win. So that was Shiver, and it was short. I definitely left me wanting a lot more. But it... Look at that little kitty holding an arm. It surprisingly delivered on the horror in the end. I really expected that to be very, like, secondary and more of a mood than a genre. But that was surprisingly scary and really a slow burn. And in the meantime, it was extremely atmospheric and artistic. I really enjoyed the time I spent in it, which is really the appeal of point-and-click games. And I suppose I really can't complain for a free game. That was a lot of fun, and certainly fits the frigid weathers I'm currently looking out from my window on right now. Dad should be back. Sorry, I was lost in thought. Just for the sake of completeness, I've had a look at the hidden achievements, the 4 that I didn't get. And aside from one where we can use the hatchet to break Mort the Mole, which why would I want to do that? He's adorable. They all center around the smoking mechanic, and I think it's really cool. It's a way to sort of tie the morality of the game in with the cigarettes. I think maybe we could have had one in the end screen there if we had used them more often, but we do get an achievement for not smoking any throughout the game. We didn't get it because we used the one just out of curiosity, and we also get one called Rebel if we smoke one down in the cave, like in front of the sign. I liked how we never really knew what it was we were dealing with all throughout. Even in the end, we didn't get any definitive answers for where that thing came from. Well, I suppose it's actually not entirely true that it didn't give us anything to go on. We got a little bit. Mainly that hole in the tree opened up, meaning it probably came from in there, right? And hey, the imagery is right there. Its nest was there, even had something to do with the 1948 collapse, and everything that was done here was, I guess in some way, disturbing it? But we always felt like we were being stalked. Seeing that thing in the road in the beginning made me think it was some kind of wolf creature or cryptid, but I only just barely saw it. Then